Hello friend, first of is phase 2 protocols. The first of one, what is the phase 2 in a clinical trial? The phase 2 is the clinical trial of phase. Second is the clinical trial tells the document more about how the cell, the treatment it is and the how well it will work. The doctor also tested the whether a new treatment works for the specific cancer. They might measure the tumor, take blood sample, or check how well you can do the certain activities. Phase 2 is divided in the two part. The phase 2A and phase 2B. The first of one, phase 2A is basically designed to assess the dosing, the requirement, how much drug should be given. The whether phase B is basically the design to study the efficacy, how well the drug work at the prescribed dose. The how long is the clinical trial? The phase second is a study that determines the effectiveness and the experimental drug on the particular disease or in the condition, and approximately the 100 to 300 the volunteers the phase may be the last from the several months to the years. Next is the what is the protocol of the phase second clinical trial? The phase second clinical trial phase is the second. The clinical trial tell the tell doctors or more adults how to set the treatment, and it is how to tell the work. Doctor also tested whether a new treatment work for the specific cancer. They might measure the tumor, take the blood sample, or they check how well you can do certain activities. How does phase second means? The definition of the phase second: a clinical trial or on a more is a person than in the phase second. Phase one is the intended to the evaluated the efficacy and the treatment for the condition it is the intended to treat. The possible side effect are the monitor the synthesis phase second clinical trial. What is what is the difference between phase 1 and phase 2? In the phase 1 and phase 2, the clinical trial also tested how well the certain type of cancer or the other disease is responsible to the new treatment. In the phase second, the part of clinical trial, the patient is usually receive the highest dose of the treatment that did not causes the harmful side effect in the phase 1 part of the clinical trial. What is the phase 2? Phase 2 drug approval. In phase 2 the study, the researchers administered the drug to group of the participant with the disease or condition for which the drug is being to develop. The typically involving the few hundred the patient. These studies are largest the young to show whether the drug will be the beneficial. How long is the phase second clinical trial? At the phase second clinical trial, they determine the effectiveness of and the experimental drug on a particular disease or condition in approximately the 100 to 300 volunteers in this phase may be last for the several months to years. What is the objective of phase second? The objective of phase second development are to the explore the therapeutic efficacy and safety in patient, the proof the concept POC, to determine the exercise of the activity to response means the obtain using the surrogate endpoint of and the new treatment in the particular patient in the population. This phase second B it is the same as phase 3. The way the distincts to the two types. The first is the product A product to B product. It is a small version of the A phase 3 trial of the specific product, which is directly the supported the license of the product, and the second tested the concept TOC to A to B. The aims to the not the generate the evidence is the supporting the license of the specific product, but is the rather to test the merit of merit. What is the difference between phase 2 and phase 2A? The POC. The phase 2A, the poet is the studies the design to the domestic and the clinical efficacy. efficacy and biological activity. The proof of the concept is the studies. The phase 2b, the studies that the AMC established the optimum dose showing the biological activity with minimal side effect. They define the dose finding the studies. What is the phase 1 and phase 2 is the reporter? Phase 1 versus phase 2 is the site is the assessment, the side by the side. Phase is primarily assess the likelihood that site is the contaminated through the usual observation, histological use, review, and the regulatory records. While the phase second is the assess the whether the contamination is in the fact of the present. What is the difference between phase 2 and phase 3? The doctor also look for the sign that is the cancer. The reported the new the treatment. The phase second trial the test if the one type of cancer reposed to the new treatment. The phase trial is the tested a new treatment is the better than the standard treatment. Phase 4 is the trial and more is the information about the long term the benefit and side effect. Which better is the phase second and phase 3 because it is the utilize the less the conduct the material to the transfer the electrical power. Or three phase is the system it is usually more costly the effective than an identical single phase or two phase is the system at the some lines to the ground voltage. So how many patients will join the phase second? The group of the 25 to 100 patients with the some type of the cancer get to with the new treatment phase is the study. They treated using the dose and method is the founded to be the safely and the most effectively the phase second. The study usually in a phase second the clinical trial everyone gets the same dose. Then next the how many drug is the fail in the phase second trial. The phase second clinical trial the represented a critical point in determining the drug cost and the phase the second it is the for the predicate of the drug the success. 30% of drug is the entering the phase second studies and failed with the progress and the 58% drug go to then the failed in the phase 3. The next how many drugs the make to the phase second. The around 70% of drugs the progress to the second phase, which is the designed to the measure the safety in a large group of the volunteers, the typically several hundred. The while also is the measuring the effectiveness of the treatment on the participant. Phase second are about 33% of drug will be the make it is the pass in the second phase and go on this two phase. Phase second trial are usually the randomized the control studies evaluating the safety and efficacy of the drug for the particularly condition and evaluating the participant is selectively using the narrow the criteria to allow close the monitoring of the relatively homogeneous patient population. What is the sample size for the phase 2 the clinical trial? Because the sample size it is small, generally less than 50 patients. The phase second clinical trial is only able to detect the large treatment the improvement in the greater than 10%. Can phase second trial be the randomized? In phase second clinical trial randomized can be performed to the corporate control the arm and the experimental arm the similar to the phase 3 the randomized studies. Thank you.